Nestled in an old schoolhouse beneath the Etna post office is Tuck's Rock Dojo. The dojo was founded in 2009 by Tuck Stocking and his wife Kata. Tuck mentors people of all ages and abilities on all aspects of music, from lessons to music theory to his band program to recording. Tuck grew up in rural Vermont.
It was very much entertain yourself kind of environment, and I spent my childhood sort of roamed through miles of forest and climbed trees and yeah, just play in the wild, really.
Surprisingly, he did not pick up an instrument until he was 16.
I would say that it kind of showed up on my radar when I was in 8th grade, I think, the summer before 8th grade. Me and a few friends of mine, we had to rake a friend's lawn, and so he'd play his boombox really loud, and we'd pretend that we were playing the songs with the rake, and I really liked it, and we all kind of talked about like, oh, well, let's start and we'll make a band. But I was really the only one who started, so.
Eventually, playing guitar led Tuck to teaching, and teaching led him to Berklee College. After graduating from Berklee, Tuck toured with multiple bands for a little while. Tuck eventually settled down and co-founded the Upper Valley School of Rock in 2006.
Simply, it kind of came down to, I remember teaching this one teenage guitar player specifically, and he would be just so frustrated because he was like, there's nobody to play with. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, there's nobody to play with, but I'm teaching like 60 people a week. So I think it's more of a, we're all just in our own little bubbles, you know, rural environment, even sort of Lebanon, Hanover, White River, you know, they still, you know, you need a networking hub for people to come together. And so then it was like, so you guys just need to be introduced to each other.
Tuck branched out on his own in 2009, forming Tuck's Rock Dojo.
I think that the way that I deal with everybody is as individuals, and you just have sort of a sense of like, you know, everybody receives information differently, but like you can take the same thing and it's only going to work if you can explain that same thing in 6 different ways, because you might have 6 different ways that the people interpret the material. Mm-hmm. And so through that you would also understand sort of like the psychological kind of, I sometimes feel like a little bit like a guidance counselor, you know, because you can be like, okay, well, those 2 people, like, they kind of like similar musical styles, but I don't think that personality-wise, I don't think that that person is going to really nurture the other person. This kind of made friction with the people who were administrating my program, because they were just sort of seeing it as, well, you know, we have this many people, you should just throw them together so we can kind of meet fiscal quota. And so eventually it seemed like it would work better if I went off and do this on my own.
Tuck has since grown his dojo, not only as a business, but as a community. Every evening, 3 to 6 teenagers gather to play together in bands.
You get to bond with a bunch of really talented people. We all get to have fun playing music together, and that's really special.
I like that I get to meet new people and make new friends, and just being with other musically talented people. I think it's a kind of new sense of community. You know, you start out and just playing by yourself, and then as you progress, you kind of want to share your skills with other people and see what they can bring. I think that's probably what the most important drawing aspect of me into playing was.
Not only does Tuck bring these kids together, but he also offers the experience of performing live once every few months, as well as the opportunity to record their own songs.
Going into 9th grade, it was at the Norwich Fair. It was like summer afternoon. I remember being extremely nervous for the performance. As that's probably all performers are when they first do something new.
Yeah.
It's all set up for you.
But in general, it was really fun because I realized how much room there was to expand within that time period. It's not a set idea because, unlike with classical music, in which you very much have strict music and there's very little room to improvise, I often find that there's a lot of room to improvise in what I do at Tux Rock Dojo. So it becomes a much more interesting experience.
Aside from the band program, Tuck does offer lessons with a unique approach.
And you know, some of those people, like things that I didn't realize, it was always sort of music-centric, right? Mm-hmm. But then some of those people would come back and tell me, you know, because you gave me the confidence to get through my stage fright on stage, they were better at making presentations for like this medical school or you know, being able to sort of have successful business interviews or just being able to sort of have more self-awareness, self-confidence. You start to find out that there's a lot of other things that play into being good as a musician that you can apply to other fields of, you know, the professional world.
He is the most encouraging, kind, patient, especially patient teacher and friend that I have ever had the pleasure of knowing. And he is just so fun to work with and happy with everything he does.
With, I think Tuck really helps. I mean, with him, like, teaching me, like, fills and teaching me grooves and all that stuff, I think, I mean, I probably wouldn't be, like, the musician of today without Tuck.
He doesn't put restrictions on what we do. If we want to do a song, he's like, oh yeah, I'm open for that. He doesn't say, well, that's not rock music, so you can't do that, which is pretty nice. I like that.
Overall, Tux Rock Dojo is more than just another music school, but a place where strangers can become best of friends. Creativity is not only encouraged but inspired, and a taste of what music can really be.
I do have this feeling that what is happening here is very special, and I must always appreciate that and not take it for granted. And so, you know, basically it's do your best for as long as you can do it.